talk about how do we make money. We get this question all the time. I want to figure out how much money I'm going to make, or how many affiliates. I get this question all the time. How many affiliates do I have to make $10,000? Well, here's the deal. I don't care how many affiliates you have. You can make $10,000 a month without a single affiliate. So that's a bad question that I can't answer. Because what did we just learn here?
It's all about players.
It's all about players. And your affiliates are just players too. So is the question, how many affiliates do I have to make $10,000? Or is the question, how many tokens have to be played in my organization to make $10,000? Right. And what's the fastest way to get a whole lot of people paying $1 to play this game? That's what you should be asking yourself. So let's do some math. Okay, important math. Let's say, does anybody here know what the average person's following is on their various social feeds between Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.?
The average is?
Average. What's your guess?
750.
750, any other guesses? Think it's lower than that? Higher than that? Add Snapchat, YouTube, all of those joyful social sites. What do you think the average is? It's about 352 is what they say the national average is. Although, just so you know, the vast majority of people have a whole lot more than that. All right? But let's say out of 350 people, how many of them do you think are sports fans that would be interested in playing a game with you? 80%. Okay, so let's say that 10% of your group, so we're going to say that is 35 people. 35 people would come and play a game with you. Of everybody that you know, between your phone, your social sites, everything. Do you think 35 people? Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, let's make it smaller. Let's say 10. I think you get 10 people to play with you. I think 10 people you could share a free app to play along in a sports event with you. Do you think?
Yeah.
Does everybody feel confident in 10?
Right.
Awesome. So you get 10 people to play with you. Now, when those people play the game, the average person that plays a game will share with 7 additional people. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody shares with 7. It means some share with 0 and some share with 100, but the average is 7. So if you get 10 people to play the game, that is going to grow into 70. And if they get their 7 people to play the game, that grows into 490. And if they get their 7 people to play the game, that grows into what? Close to 3,500, right? Approximately 3,500, right around there. Okay? So let's say 3,500 people. We got 3,500 people in there, and we have told you we've never based anything that we've done based on people spending more than $7. So if they spent $7 a month in the app, how much is that in revenue? 3,500 times 7. 25,000?
20.
How much is it? You guys have calculators down there on mine with me.
24,000.
24,000?
24,500.
24,500. Okay? Have we had an affiliate involved yet? No. So you're making how much on this? Which means you're making what?
$2,400.
$2,450. Now, let's make it interesting, and you decide to go get 4 affiliates who are going to do exactly what you did. They're going to go get 10 people to play with them, and over time it's going to grow. Correct? If you had 4 affiliates that were each generating 24,500 in volume, okay, times 4, that ends up being close to 100,000 in volume, correct?
Yeah.
And you're getting Tier 2 commissions on that, right? And Tier 2 commissions are 5%. How much are you getting on that? $5,000. So now you've got $2,450 plus $5,000. Then we get to check match, right? So I get 20% of their $2,450 check, right? Which is how much? $480. I'm going to get 480 of that times 4 affiliates, correct? Which is how much? 4 times 480 is how much?
Less than $2,000, 1,800.
Okay, $1,900 roughly. What's 2,450 plus 1,900 plus 5,000? $93.50. 93.50? Somewhere around there. We're going on estimates in this room. I can't believe we've done this exercise for this long and not a single one of you have pulled out your phone to actually use a calculator. Oh, it's your dad. Well, that's a good excuse. All right. So, what does it take to make close to $10,000 a month?
Doing 4 affiliates with 10 players, each get 7.
There you go. You can play with this game all day long, guys, and do it all on your own. Figure it out. This is not complicated. I just gave you a recipe right there. Let me show you a totally different recipe. Let's talk about not having affiliates at all, but let's talk about going after a strong social influencer. Somebody who has maybe a retired professional athlete, or maybe somebody who has strong social impact. We have talked to many of these people. We have some of them that they range from 500,000 followers to 15 million followers. We have one right now with 27 million followers. Now let's just use 500,000 followers.
Write a little bigger.
What's that?
Write a little.
Oh, write bigger, because our online folks can't see my itty bitty handwriting.
I think it's bigger on the side.
500,000 followers. All right? Let's say that 1%. Now, if you took a professional athlete, somebody that you watched as a child play in the NFL, for example, and you followed them ever since, and they invite you to play a game with them.
Wow.
How many people are going to participate in that invitation? To download a free app and play along with them at an NFL game?
Everybody.
Okay, let's say 1%. 1% of 500,000 is what?
5,000.
They just acquired 5,000 customers because they made a post on their social media. Yeah? Now those 5,000 customers, if the average share is 7, could turn into what? And if the average share is 7, that could turn into what?
245,000.
245,000? Now let's just say that each person in here spent 1 token a month. 1 token, that's it. How much money is this athlete making because people spent 1 token in a month?
24,500.
24,500
On that one game.
on 1. Okay, now, what happens if they spend the average of 7?
171,500.
Any questions? So strategically, what are you after here? Don't ask me these questions. You guys call into our customer support line and say, how many affiliates should I get? Should I go deep? Should I go wide? How many players should I get? Who should I talk to? Do the math and answer your own question here. We're an app development company. You guys are the professional affiliates. You have a job to build your strategy for yourself. I have just given you the tools. So let's get some answers. Who do you want?
People with a lot of positions.
You want strong social influencers. You want credible social influencers. Okay? Does your social influencer have to be someone from the sports world?
No.
Okay, classic example. I have a niece. She has a fashion blog called Shop Stevie. She's awesome. She's got a great following, lots of people who buy her clothes because she's so darn stinking cute, okay? But they buy her clothes. Now here is an adorable blonde who knows next to nothing about sports, but she's married to an avid sports watcher. And she's got a following of good quality 50, 60,000 people. What happens when and who do you think those people are, by the way?
Fashion.
Fashion people? Would we identify them as mostly women?
Yep.
Yep, mostly women, right? cute, adorable little women following her on her fashion blog. Now she puts a post out there where she's wearing her cute little sportsy t-shirt and she's sitting there on her couch with her husband and she says, women, ladies, do something for your man tonight. Play. Do something they enjoy. How many women would actually follow that advice and download that app?
A third.
I think more than that. Everyone in this room's like, hey, that's a great idea. Right? Oh, we're on that. But here's the great part. They didn't download it for them, so who's going to download it right after they do?
Their husband.
Their man. She just got 2 for a price of 1.
And then his friends.
Right? But think about this. If she has 50,000 followers and 10% of them download it, that's 5,000. If they then have their man download it, she's at 10,000. If that man then invites his buddies to download it, she's at 70,000. And how fast can that go? How did Candy Crush and Clash of Clans and Clash Royale get 500 million downloads? Just like that. Okay? Just like that. So who are you looking for? You're looking for people with strong social influence. You're looking for people with a sports background. You're looking for people who love fantasy. You're looking for people who enjoy hosting sports parties. How many people do you know? You have to know those people that every time there's a Super Bowl, there parties at their house. Okay? How would those people love it if every week they hosted a sports party and they got paid to do it? And their pizza just became a tax write-off, for crying out loud. How would that be for them? Find those types of people. And then, most importantly, guys, keep in mind that players are one of your biggest advocates because they are going to share with 7. Do you know? This is something I think we've got to make sure we're established right here and right now. Hopefully you guys are recognizing I'm having like a super blunt, transparent conversation with you. We've all come to realize that, right? There's only one way I know how to be, and that is that way. So we're going to be blunt and transparent right now. Stop. I beg of you, stop thinking like traditional network marketers. You're going to kill your own opportunity if you do that way. This is not traditional.
Hey guys, welcome to the call.